This is Ken from the Mudtoa channel, and you're watching IntenseAngler's Tip of the Week.
Hey there guys, John here yet again. You know, when it comes to the outdoor activities that many of us like to pursue, whatever they may be, one thing that they all have in common is that they require some sort of gear. Now, whether you decide to run with high-end gear, mid-range gear, even low-end gear or do-it-yourself gear, one thing is for sure, if you spend enough time in the outdoors, there's going to come a time when that gear is either going to malfunction, fail, or otherwise be in need of emergency repair. And so what we're going to cover here today is essentially emergency in-the-field repair. More specifically, an in-the-field repair kit and how it can help you in the event that your gear does fail while out in the field. So let's take a look at it. Let's go ahead and jump right in here and see what we got. This is my emergency in-the-field repair kit. Now, I know it doesn't look like much, and well, it's really not much. It's just a little half-ounce 3x5 bag of goodies. To be honest with you guys though, the items in this little kit have saved the day for me on more than one occasion. They've proven themselves to be handy little items. So let's go ahead and just break this open, go over the contents just quickly, talk about some of their uses, and see what you guys think. Now, first of all, one of the things that I've found to be really almost invaluable is just some good old-fashioned zip ties. Now, I've used these things from everything from repairing tent poles to repairing a fishing rod to back in the day when we used to use the external frame packs. I've had to reattach the pack to the frame on one of those on more than one occasion. So these little guys are just really handy. Lots of uses for them. You know, even makeshift emergency bootlace, but just a really good all-around item. Now, moving on here to another incredibly useful item, and I'm sure you guys will all agree with me on this one, is good old duct tape. Now, I'm not going to go over all the uses of this here. You guys know how good this stuff is for yourself. I will tell you a couple of ways that I've used it, emergency in the field uses. I've used it repairing rips in tarps and in tent flies. I've actually had to reattach the sole of a boot once just to get back to the truck. Even once I ended up taking a rod and reel combo that I hadn't used together before on a fishing trip, and they didn't fit together. The duct tape ended up allowing me to attach the reel to the rod and save the day. We ended up having some really good fishing that day, in fact. So duct tape, good all-around item to have in any repair kit. Now moving on here, really we don't got much in here, as you can see, and this is the last really major component, and an incredibly useful one at that, and that's just a sewing kit. Now, you wouldn't think there would be much to that, but it's actually a little more in-depth than you may imagine. Now, we're not going to talk for 20 minutes about this or anything, but I just wanted to point out some of the major, I guess, draws to this, the allures or changes that I've made. Now I use a basis here of a dollar store kit, and it does just come with you know, some cheap cotton thread, which is fairly weak. However, that does work well for repairing clothing, so I keep that. What I've done here on this second strand though is I've replaced this. This is actually a really good quality heavy-duty polyester thread, and that's going to help you out if you need to make a little bit more heavy-duty dependable repairs. Now, along those same lines, I like to include a small length of 30-pound braid fishing line. Now, this really comes in handy when you need to make some heavy-duty repairs, such as you know, attaching a strap back on your pack, which I've actually had to do before. Just really strong stuff, and this is going to hold up to some really heavy-duty use for those, like I said, just heavy-duty repairs you have to make. Now, getting into the needles here, that's one more thing I wanted to just quickly talk about. I carry just a basic sewing needle, a small version, for repairing clothing, just little rips and tears, things like that. But I also carry a larger, much more heavy-duty needle with a large eye, which I'm not sure you'll be able to see here. But that larger eye allows me to be able to thread the fishing line, as well as possibly the inner strands of paracord or whatever I may happen to have to use at the time. And plus the heavy-duty needle allows you to get through tougher materials such as you may find on your pack, jeans, just things like that, straps. Just really important to have a heavy-duty needle along there in that sewing kit. Now, finishing off the sewing kit, we just got some really basic stuff in here, and that's just a couple extra buttons, a larger one that would work on jeans or BDUs, and a smaller button that would of course work on a shirt or something of that nature. And then we also just kind of top that off with a couple safety pins, and the safety pins actually come in handy for a lot of different uses. One of the major things, I guess, for me is just quick repairs, quick on the trail repairs. Where you don't got time to stop and sew something together, you can just kind of attach it really quickly, enough to get you to camp, enough to get you back to the trailhead, whatever, and then make your repairs there. So just handy to have along. Now, rounding out the kit here, the last item that I have inside this little kit is actually just a fairly good length of a nylon string. Now, I like to use this, I like to carry this because it has just, like I said, once again, proven itself to be invaluable, whether it's for lashing or making, super heavy-duty repairs on gear. You can punch through with an awl to be able to get your hole to make those repairs. Just a lot of good uses for this. And you don't have to sacrifice your paracord, by carrying a small length of this. So it's been a valuable item for me. So with that said, that is the contents of the little kit. There are supplemental items, however, obviously carry-on items such as a good multi-tool. Now, a lot of us carry a multi-tool, and for very good reason. We all know the virtues of having a good tool. Now, if you're lacking a lot of the other items, a good multi-tool may very well save the day. For obvious reasons. Innumerable uses for a good multi-tool, and I actually feel it is a part of that kit. It just happens to be a carry-on item. So that is about all that I carry with me. I did want to cover a couple of other things just really quickly because they are useful, and you may want to include them, or you may already do include them. And one of those is, of course, paracord. Paracord, once again, like duct tape, has just so many uses that I'm not going to go into them here, other than just a couple examples, which are, of course, lashing, maybe an emergency bootlace if your bootlace happens to break, just stuff like that. The inner strands obviously can be used in place or in lieu of something like this nylon thread for heavy duty repair items, sewing items. So just paracord, really handy item to have along there. Another item, and this is actually a small one, is some bread bag ties. Now, I know this doesn't seem like much, but these little fellows actually do come in handy. I've used them myself on a few occasions, so just a little thing there, a little addition. Another thing, I'm sure some of you guys carry this, is a little tube of super glue. When I do carry this, I like to keep it in a airtight container. This one happens to be vacuum sealed, just so there's no leakage in the pack. But once again, a multi-use item, very good repair item, and a potential first aid item as well. So just some good stuff to have along. Now, other than that, some people, including myself on occasion, like to carry along just a piece, a patch of some heavy-duty ripstop nylon. Now, this will come in handy for, repairing on clothing, things like that. But more importantly, it will come in handy if you ever need to make a serious repair on your, tent, rainfly, or tarp, something of that nature. Really, something that can be invaluable, and obviously the weight is a non-factor on that. Now, aside from that, the last thing I wanted to cover here is just kind of specific use items. And these are items that you cannot duplicate in the field, such as a flashlight, a replacement bulb for your flashlight. There's no way to duplicate that, as I said, and it's something that you may want to carry. Also straps and or buckles for your specific pack that you happen to be carrying. You can make emergency repairs, but you know, if you do have a spare buckle or something like that, it just makes your life a lot easier, especially if you're on a long-term trip. So just a few examples, like I said, they're nothing really you know, complicated or special. I would like to hear what you guys carry in your repair kits. I know that some people are really creative and just, you know, spending time out on the trail, spending a lot of good time in the woods, you do come to find items that you just absolutely can't live without and have saved the day, as they have for me. Well, there you go, guys. Just a quick example of an emergency in the field repair kit. Something that if you have along with you can prove absolutely invaluable. Now there is one item I wanted to add along to this that I intentionally did not include because it's actually not an item. And what that is good old-fashioned ingenuity. Sometimes you're not going to have the gear you need. Sometimes you're going to be in sticky situations. And good old-fashioned ingenuity can absolutely save the day. And an example that comes to mind is actually kind of humorous, and that was the time that I was able to salvage a fishing trip by using a ballpoint pen and a lighter to fix the fuel pump on my boat's outboard motor. It absolutely saved the day, and we were able to have a great day fishing out there. So, like I said, just an example of that. Now, before we go here, I would like to extend a huge thank you to my brother Ken, and that is YouTube user Mudtoa, for taking the time to put together this week's introduction for Tip of the Week. Absolutely appreciate that, brother. And if you guys are into the DIY stuff, gear, just good outdoor stuff, wildlife, you may want to pay Mudtoa's channel a visit. He's a really down-to-earth guy and comes at things from a common man approach. I really think you'd enjoy him. And that's about all I got, guys. So we're going to wrap up. I do want to say thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Until next time, guys, take the best care, and we'll see you soon.